James Turner for the untouchable True School Sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to talk about this guy right here because I feel like God has been telling me to make a video about this guy, because when I talk to people in the boxing industry, when I was in Albuquerque for the Angelo Leo Venado Lopez fight, and I would talk to certain people from Top Rank, and I would say, hey, you know, who's some fighters, you know, some prospects that you really feel that I should pay attention to, right? And so this guy's name came up. You know, I've had friends interview this guy. I've seen this guy make some statement performances on Top Rank shows in the last couple months. And so he deserves a video. He deserves some love here on True School Sports. And that's none other than featherweight prospect, 10-0, 6 knockout, Robert Garcia trained fighter. None other than Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez. Yes, that Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez. Let's talk about him, man, because this is a guy that I feel is on the fast track towards like being a world level fighter, towards being a guy that really makes some noise and is a featherweight contender within the next 18 to 24 months. I genuinely think in the next 18 to 24 months, Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez will emerge as a top 15 featherweight contender. Remember, you heard it here first. Now, that being said, and with that being firmly established here on True School Sports, let's talk about him. As I mentioned, he's Robert Garcia trained fighter, so we know that fighters that are trained by Robert Garcia are in his gym, and if you're in his gym, you know that Robert Garcia Boxing Academy has some of the best sparring. It's renowned, world renowned for its sparring. And I know he sparred Ruben Villa. I'm not sure if he sparred with Bam Rodriguez, but I'll be led to believe that they probably got rounds in at some point. But you know, he sparred Ruben Villa. That much is certain. That much I do know. As far as his style, I love his style. He's my kind of fighter. You know, he's a educated, come forward, seek and destroy fighter. Meaning that his objective is to come forward and come to get you, but he does it in an intelligent way. He knows how to put like intelligent pressure on you. Good tight defense. You know, definitely has feints, you know, an educated jab. Sometimes it's the up jab, sometimes it's the straight jab, but he just has really good educated pressure that he puts on his opponents, right? And I think on the level he's fought at thus far, albeit it's not the world-class creme de la creme level, top 15 level, world championship level, I think he's actually made some statements over his last couple of fights, because if you just look at some of the guys he's fought and knocked out in his last two fights, for example, on the July 13th show, which was the undercard of Tevin Farmer Raymond Murataya, he fought a fighter by the name of Coronado S. Martinez. Now, I am familiar with Coronado S. Martinez because he was 9-1 coming into the Albert Gonzalez fight. One of my friends in boxing, shout out to my boy Joseph Maicedo, gave him his only loss of his pro career up to that point when they fought for the NABA title back in 2023. Now, granted that Joseph Maicedo is a 122-pounder. Coronado S. Martinez came in a little bit overweight at 124 3/4, almost 125, almost 3 pounds above the 122 limit. But Joseph didn't stop him, right? This guy had never been stopped in his career. Albert Gonzalez stopped this guy in 6 rounds and gave him a beating, a precision punching beating, right? So that's a bit of a minor statement there. But the one that really got me to raise my eyebrows was the fight on the undercard of Angelo's show, when he fought the former Marine Damian Alcala, because this is a guy, a journeyman, if you want to say. This is a guy who, yeah, on paper his record isn't great. He was 8-4 coming into the fight, but he's been used to fight other, you know, name opponents. Like if you watch Pro Box, he's fought Damian Alcala, he's fought Michael Gamble, and he's fought Dominic Valle, right? And he got shut out. He got, you know, thoroughly beaten those fights. They weren't like close fights. He didn't win too many rounds in either one of those two fights. But Dominic Valle was unable to stop Damian Alcala. Michael Gamble was unable to stop Damian Alcala. However, Albert Gonzalez didn't need a whole lot of time to stop Damian Alcala. He got him out of there in 3 rounds. So just having that a common opponent with those other young prospects, that's showing that Albert Gonzalez is on a different caliber. At least if you're comparing common opponents, which people like to do. So I like him. I like him. You know, from what I've seen of him, you know, he's a very spiritual person. He seems to be a man of God. You know, I did watch his interview with KO Christie. Christina Ramirez, a really good reporter. I like Christina Ramirez's work. Shout out to her. Comes across very well on camera. Comes across, you know, like a guy that really is just trying to walk the straight and narrow path. And I'll tell you like this: this sport of boxing is as much as it is a mental game, as much as it is a physical game, I think it's very much a spiritual game. I almost feel like boxing is spiritual warfare. And so when you're walking that straight, the fighters that I believe walk the straight and narrow path tend to have a better chance to succeed. You know, it doesn't mean just because somebody's a Christian or a man of God, it doesn't mean that, you know, that they'll win every fight they have or be champion, because there's been plenty of fighters that were men of God that got their ass whooped and knocked out into oblivion. So, you know, obviously it's a combination of things. You gotta be right in the head, mentally, physically, spiritually, and you gotta have the talent, you know. And I feel like he's got it. You know, just so long as he stays committed to the game and focused. I really truly believe in 2 years' time, you can come back in 2 years to this video. I think in 2 years' time, barring anything crazy, this is going to be a guy that's going to be very relevant in the featherweight division. This is going to be a guy we talk about as a high-level contender. And depending on how the landscape looks, I could even see him being champion within 2 years. That's how good I think he has the potential to be. Just because when I look at him, I see a guy that, in order to beat him, you're going to have to be able to have the conditioning to deal with him for the course of, you know, 10 to 12 rounds. I see a guy that is a really good body puncher, and I see a guy who fights with a mean streak. You know, he's not in there to play with you, but he's very smart in how he goes about it. So it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of you know, brute force, but it's a lot of brains too. So he's got a lot of things going for him, and I think under the watchful eye of Robert Garcia, because Robert Garcia is not just a good trainer, he's very good at picking opponents and management. Look what he's done with Bam. Bam's been moved perfectly in his career, taking the right fights at the right time. Sometimes people like me, that the boxing fan in me complains about it because I want to see him fight fresher guys, but he's picked the right fights at the right time, and I feel like Albert Gonzalez will be much of the same. He will pick the right fights at the right time, and I believe more often than not he will pass those tests and be a guy that is a very key figure in the featherweight division, you know, down the road. So if you don't know who he is, go check him out. 10-0, 6 knockouts, featherweight prospect, just signed the Top Rank. I've watched his last 2 fights. I've been aware of him since like 3 fights ago when he fought on the BAM card. And so, yeah, definitely want to watch out for it. Check him out. And if you watched him fight, if there's anything I didn't say about him, and you know about Albert Gonzalez, then feel free to put me on game, because I'm always learning about these guys, you know. There's always something to learn about boxing for me. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you could love me or you could hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterfield, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.